Okay, today we are going to talk about how to stretch your own canvas. There's a variety of reasons to do this. One is quality, another is price, and another is you get just exactly what you want as far as size and materials. So these are heavy-duty stretcher bars, and they're already pre-cut, so if you don't have a wood shop or you're not keen on power tools, this is a good way to go. If you've built your own stretchers, that's fine. That's great. More gold stars for you. But for the rest of us, if we're using this, this is going to work. There's going to be a little lip on it. This lip is to keep the canvas from touching the stretcher bar while you're painting. So this is the front. So when you want to stretch your canvas, you're going to have to make sure that that is down, or you're going to be an unhappy camper because you're going to have to start over again. The next thing is you're going to want is going to have a bit of canvas to be able to pull over on all the sides. So you don't want so much that you're wasting supplies, but it's better to have too much than too little. You also want to have a stapler, heavy-duty stapler. And I like having pliers because I almost always make a mistake, and so that's good. You can also get canvas pliers if you want. They look like these, but they're not necessary. However, if you have soreness in your fingers or the beginning of arthritis, stretching it by hand is not as fun. So you're going to want to make sure that everything's clean. I already made sure that my corners were still square. And the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to tack all 4 sides right in the middle. So the reason that you do this in the middle is that you're going to work outward from the middle on each side. And I don't want to pull a lot, but I don't want it to be loose. So I've got all 4 tacked. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to make each side, just going to pull it a little bit tight so it's not loose. You don't want it all saggy and loose because remember the point is to stretch, but if you pull too hard, you're just going to pull it from the other side. So on this first pass, you're going to go about 2 inches out, maybe 3, not all the way to the corner, but a little bit from the corner. And you're going to go like that all the way around, and then you get the fun pulling part. Okay, so they are done all the way around the side, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start pulling for real. So if you're using canvas pliers, you're going to grip your canvas. If you have a lot of excess, you might fold it over so you can grip it. And then there's a knob that's the top. It's going to go over the stretcher bar on this side, and it's going to pull it tight like that. And while it's pulled, then you're going to come up and staple. Always make sure that you have staples in your stapler, because if you pull it tight and you're working real hard and you finally get there, and then, boom, no staples, you're going to be a sad panda, and I do that all the time. So what you're going to do is you're going to work your way one at a time all the way around. You don't want to do one side because your tension's not going to be easy. Remember, we're working from the middle outward. So if I pulled it by hand, I just use my thumbs, my fingers, pull it nice and taut. Right where I have the most tension, I'm going to staple. Now you notice I'm stapling on the back, not on the sides. That puts all the uneven tension on this line instead of this line, which is where the pectoral plane is going to be. So we want to have any unevenness on the back, not on the sides. It also makes it to where you do not have to frame your paintings if you don't want to. You can just have a nice finished edge. Nobody sees this back part because it's on the wall. Now, let's use magic and suddenly be done with this, and I'll show you how to do the corners. Magic. Okay, I feel like a cooking show. I have things prepped in advance. All right, so the first step with doing the corners is make sure you're close to the corner, but not all the way at the corner. If you're all the way at the corner, pull out those staples. Next, you want to make sure that you have the canvas cut. You don't want to cut at an angle. You want to cut along the weave of the fabric, because remember, canvas is fabric, and it's going to just tear off there if you're not cutting it on the weave. So we want to make sure that that is lined up. We don't have a bunch of excess, which just makes things bulky. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do a corner where we're tucking on the inside. So I'm going to have the bulk of the material be on the short side this time. And I'm going to just make sure that everything is nice and smooth. It doesn't have to be tight, but just smooth. Okay, so I'm going to come up here. I'm going to fold this over. So this is my long ways. Just using my finger to fold it over. And then I'm going to grab this edge here and pull it up. Right? And this takes a little bit of practice, and you can do some adjustments. See? It just folds up like that. So this one's going to fold down. This one's going to fold on top, just like that. That way it's all nice. There's no corner that you can see. If you want to go in there and you want to cut some of that material out to even get rid of more of the bulk, you can. That's a preference. You could also come and you could fold this corner under like that, and so you'd have this be nice and tapered. Now, if you go to do this and you end up a little bit miscalculated, you could end up with it not all the way at the corner. See, there's a little bit of a lip right there, and that way you just come out and just mess with it and pull it forward again. Remember, this takes a little bit of time to get this, but you can totally do it. And then you staple it, and then voila. You have a nice corner. Not too much tension there, but not so loose that you have problems. And that's really the trick, is proper tension.